they wouldn't be taking all of these actions if they didn't think XRP was going to be worth something. Now, we got a lot of good news today. This article was titled XRP Price Today. Japanese financial giant SBI Holdings offers XRP and shareholders benefits package. Now, we know for a while now, because they said something in 2024 where they were trying to look for different ways for their clients to make money with XRP. And they're serious about that. SBI believes in XRP. They've been pushing XRP everywhere that they can. I think they're only going to find more and more success as regulations around the world are loosening up for cryptocurrencies. Now, it says here, SBI Holdings expands XRP rewards for shareholders as Ripple gains traction in Japan. It's been very interesting to watch the different movements in Japan. We've known for some years SBI, and there was one other representative from Japan. I can't remember who. They were from the Japanese banking system. Said that they believe that Japan would run on XRP. Now, I know the head of SBI said that. I just can't remember the other person. They didn't say that exact verbiage, but they said something very, very closely related to that about XRP and XRPL. So Japan is going to be something interesting to watch long into the future, and could have a significant impact on XRP's price. As you see, there are businesses like SBI that are operating there, and SBI has a lot of connections. All right. They're taking it very serious. They're making major movements. All right. So now it says this: SBI Holdings has announced that eligible shareholders now have the opportunity to receive special benefits. Those holding between 100 and 999 shares, or at least 1,000 shares for less than a year, can choose either 2,000 yen in XRP or a selection of health and functional food products from SBI Alapromo Co., a subsidiary of SBI, the company said. My apologies, folks, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm taking XRP every time. Health and functional food products, I can get that on my own. You can order that in bulk for the cheap. I'm taking XRP every time. Looking at this price here, if this is correct, they have a price here of XRP $2.43 at the time of this article. Listen, you take that right there, XRP skyrockets to $10, $15 at some point in the future. Things are looking good. I mean, that's much better for your family. You can do whatever you want. You liquidate that XRP, you do whatever you want. Not financial advice. I'm just sharing my ideas. And you do whatever you want. You can take that and buy some health and functional food products for yourself in bulk, right? So I'm firm in my belief they're going to go for that. They're going to go for this. It continues on. It was stated that shareholders must be Japanese residents at least 18 years old and have or be able to create an account with SBI VC Trade Co. to receive XRP. The XRP reward is scheduled for distribution with an estimated conversion date of July 31st, 2025. All right, so we have a date there. Add to your calendar and we'll find out what's going to happen a little bit closer to that time, or what the result of everything was, right? The Japan-based financial company has been a firm supporter of Ripple and has already adopted some of Ripple's solutions for various services, including cross-border payments. Of course, there's a lot of crossover between SBI and Ripple. Even if you look in that region where they work, where there's the Philippines, you have some corridors built there by SBI utilizing the XRPL. You have some corridors built there by Ripple using the XRPL. So these two are a tag team of sorts. All right. So now, there's more. Oh, this is a good article right here, folks. All right. There's more. Ripple's expanding presence in Japan's banking sector. It says this decision by SBI to reward its shareholders with XRP as an option further strengthens Ripple's influence in Japan. According to research by experts in the crypto industry, listen to this, more than 60 banks, Japanese banks, covering 80% of the country's banking sector have partnered with Ripple to enable quicker cross-border transactions. According to research by experts. What experts? Am I the only one who asks those questions? What experts? Number one, what's the name of the banks? Number two, where are you getting this information? I don't understand article writers when they do things like that. You have to have more information for us to take that serious. Now, could this be possible? Yes, definitely could. Ripple is known to make a lot of partnerships behind the scenes, a lot of NDAs. I've heard that also. But unless we have more information, there's no way to confirm this. So I really don't know to get excited. Should I not be excited? I'm just going to stay neutral. That's how I feel about that. What do you think? You feel like you're staying neutral on that? It says, have partnered with Ripple to enable quicker cross-border transactions. They did say they want Japan to run on XRP. Maybe they pulled it off and it's just sitting there behind the scenes waiting to be announced. Who knows? It says continued adoption could affect Ripple's XRP, potentially causing the coin to rise. Yoshitaka Kitao, the CEO of SBI Holdings, recently stated that he anticipates XRP's price will soar significantly once the court determines it is not a security. Whoa, he said that. Whoa, that's bold. That's bold. But I believe he knows, like most people are not going to hear that. That's why sometimes in my titles, I'm like, everyone needs to hear this or all people need to hear this. It's true, because I'm telling you right now, only a small bit of us know this information. I mean, to each his own. But I'm telling you right now, the first surge, I believe, is going to be the biggest. I mean, when we get that first big explosion, like what we've seen is great. No doubt about it. But there's a major explosion coming. And if the people on the ground want to really benefit from that, first of all, not financial advice, if they really want to benefit from that, they need to know this type of information as to why it could take off. Not it will, no guarantees, but it could take off. It explains why people are so bullish on things like XRP. And it's merely one aspect, one variable of why XRP is so bullish to a lot of people, right? All right. Now we have there was some good news today. All right. Had to take the day off yesterday, folks. Had no choice. All right. A lot happened yesterday. I'm just going to say it like that. I'll leave that alone. And so we're back here today. All right. So I hope you all are doing fantastic out there. So now this article is titled Ripple Partners with Unicambio to expand crypto payments in Europe. Major things happening. Why now? Everyone knows something major is coming. I'm telling you, golden age of crypto. We had some big timer recently. This like maybe 3 videos back, literally used my term, golden age. They literally used it. Golden age is coming, and everyone's getting in position. It says here, Ripple Labs, a leading US-based blockchain payments company, has announced a major partnership with the Unicambio, a well-funded Portuguese cryptocurrency exchange. This move aims to simplify and speed up cross-border payments between Portugal and Brazil using Ripple payments. Ripple is everywhere. XRP is everywhere. When they flip the switch, so to speak, I wonder why people stop using that phrase. I love that phrase. It's so fun. But when they flip the switch and everything is active and flowing, how does that price not explode? With crypto adoption growing in Europe and regulatory frameworks like MiCA taking shape, Ripple's expansion couldn't come at a better time. It says, let's take a closer look at what it means for the market. Ripple strengthens its global reach. Ripple Payments now operates in over 80 payout markets, covering more than 90% of the global foreign exchange market. This new partnership will help Ripple expand its presence in Europe, especially as the region rolls out the markets and crypto assets regulations. Quote, our partnership with Unicambio is a significant milestone in Ripple's European expansion. Portugal has developed a thriving crypto ecosystem, so we are delighted to open up our payment solutions to partners there, unquote, said Cassie Craddock, Managing Director UK in Europe at Ripple. Ripple, listen, they've been doing a great job. A long time. They're a hungry company. A lot of these Bitcoin companies, the top ones, have been working their tails off. Ripple's been working their tails off. Chainlink's been working hard. Hedera's been working hard. I want to throw Cardano in there so badly, but they don't have any banks that I know of, because they've been working hard also over at Cardano. But they're just not a bank coin, in my humble opinion, unless there's something I don't know, and there could be something I don't know. But I'm trying to speak about those who are working extremely hard. And I think that hard work leads to an explosion in price, because it leads to a lot of partnerships, a lot more business, your chain being that much better than everyone else's. All of this is tied together. It says leveraging strong ties in Latin America. Over the years, Ripple has formed key partnerships with financial institutions looking to integrate blockchain into their payment systems. The company has focused heavily on the U.S. Latin American payment corridor. I was just talking about this. There's only a few. They dominate when it comes to Latin America. Ripple is down there heavy. They were heavy in Mexico. Just because they stopped the experimentation that they were doing in Mexico doesn't mean those partnerships went away. Doesn't mean those handshakes went away. And if I remember correctly, what they were testing out in Mexico, which was payroll, from what I remember, it was payroll, I believe, and offline QR code payments. It went successfully. So they're heavy in Mexico. They were heavy in Brazil, a few other places. Stellar was heavy in Brazil also. Algorand is heavy all throughout Latin America. All right, let's make that clear. I'm trying to remember who else is heavy in Latin America. Quant is heavy in Latin America. Quant, another one, just waiting to explode, in my humble opinion. But let's keep going. It says, including with Travelex Bank and Mercado Bitcoin to support transactions between Portugal and Brazil. Quote, by leveraging blockchain technology, we're transforming money movement between the two nations. Ripple's crypto-enabled payment solutions enables near instant settlement and drastically reduces costs compared to traditional payment channels. Now, remember, when it comes to certain mechanisms on the XRPL, and they have something it's literally titled or called payment channels. Okay, so I know this phrase can be used rather obtusely, but when it comes to XRPL, this is an actual mechanism. When it comes to payment channels, you can only use XRP. And I like to focus on that payment channels mechanism because it's one of the most efficient. You get even faster transaction speeds. You get even lower cost. You could break up the payments and send them little by little, even though they'll still consider it one payment. Folks, that's delicious to the banks. That's delicious to large financial institutions. That's delicious to large asset managers. That's like having an ace in your pocket. And I believe that's one of the reasons they're going to gobble up XRP. They want to win. They want to make money. You're going to do that with XRP. Not you, but like the financial institutions. That's how they get to it. We'll see. We shall see. But let's move on here. All right. So now let's see what else we have here. I want to get to a little bit of Bitcoin news. I had another XRP article. I'll slide that back. And this one is titled, Tether CEO warns Satoshi Nakamoto's 1.1 million Bitcoin may circulate again. Is that so? Would make perfect sense, but who knows the status of Satoshi? Is Satoshi one person? One, is Satoshi still alive? Two, there's a lot has happened. A lot of people not on this earth anymore. Is Satoshi still here? What is the proof that anyone has that Satoshi is still around? And once again, is it one person? Is it a group? If it's a group, do they all have different pieces to access such a thing? Or do they all have full access? You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes a group, for security purposes, everybody will have a piece of a code or a piece of a key, so to speak. And they all have to come together in order to access that. So it continues on here. It says the biggest mystery in cryptocurrency world remains. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? We know he created Bitcoin. They keep saying that. Why are you saying he? It could be a she. Could be a group. Never know. But they say he here. We know he created Bitcoin, the world's first and largest cryptocurrency. We also know he holds at least 1.1 million BTC, a fortune that has remained untouched for years. But here's the real question. What happens to this massive Bitcoin stash? You assume, writer, with all due respect, you assume something has to happen to it. Maybe it's supposed to just sit there. Maybe it was meant to just sit there. There's no telling. If we're going to be detectives, if we're going to be researchers, we must consider all possibilities. And sometimes it's what you don't see. Sometimes you got to look outside the box, look outside the veil in order to solve a mystery, solve a case. Sometimes it's the details that we can't perceive. So now we have to start operating in a way where we look at what's in front of us, but we also try to perceive that which we may forget, that which may be beyond us. Maybe it's not meant to be touched, writer. Maybe it never was. But let's go here. Let's continue. It says, some believe Satoshi is no longer alive. I was just saying that. There's no way to know. No way to know. Many things have happened, but let's keep going. While others think he's watching from the shadows. That's a possibility. Both are possibilities, but I'm glad you're discussing both. It says, but what if his Bitcoin isn't lost forever? All right. Tether CEO Paolo Ardoino has made a bold prediction that could change everything. And it has to do with one of the biggest technological threats to crypto today, quantum computing. But it's not. It's not right now. All the experts have spoken on this. And they've said, number one, a lot of these top chains have been working on quantum proofing. We've known that for the last 2 years. We had some of the earliest ones working on quantum proofing. I believe it was like Algorand and Hedera. Now we have others, at least the bank coins, working on quantum proofing. Everybody's going to quantum proof everything. This is always the way that it is. So could it be a threat? Yes. Is it a threat right now? No. Is it probably going to be a threat in the future? I don't believe so. Because once again, by the time they release quantum computers in mass, by that time, everything will be quantum proofed. They've been taking forever. Don't get me wrong. Quantum computing, the technology has been moving forward at a rapid pace. Yes, but they haven't released it. So it's taking forever for them to release it. By the time that happens, theoretically speaking, everything will be quantum proof. But let's keep going. It says here, what does this have to do with Satoshi's money? Why quantum computing could be the key. Ardoino suggests that Satoshi's Bitcoin might re-enter circulation in the future. He warns that advances in quantum computing could threaten the security of Nakamoto's wallets. Oh, I see. Very interesting, sir. Since Google introduced Willow, a quantum computing chip, in 2024. Oh, you're still on Willow? Oh, you haven't seen what these other companies are building, huh? Oh, some of these other companies that are not widely known, like Google, are working on some tremendous things. Did you not see the one company that just achieved, which is nothing new, by the way, this has already happened before, but they have achieved what they consider teleportation, quantum teleportation. Did you see that? Go look that up and let it blow your mind. Right. But all right, so let's keep going. It says here, the crypto community has debated whether the industry needs to prepare for quantum resistant security. Like I said, they've been doing this. They've been working on quantum proofing. It says, however, you can look it up. However, experts say Bitcoin is not yet at risk. Cracking Bitcoin's elliptic curve digital signature algorithm would require at least 1 million qubits. Okay, so I see where he's going with this. And then they end off here. I'm just reading little tidbits of this article. Once again, who is Nakamoto? The Tether CEO's comments have revived speculation about Satoshi Nakamoto's true identity. All right, they don't really draw a conclusion here. All right, so that was a pretty interesting article, to say the least. All right, we're going to move on here to this next article, which is, let's see, it's titled, Arthur Hayes Warns of Bitcoin Crash If U.S. Creates Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Well, let's hear what he has to say, because why would it crash because of that? A U.S. Bitcoin strategic reserve would be a ticking time bomb. Why? Because they would liquidate that at some point. I'm assuming. Warns Arthur Hayes, predicting political manipulation. Oh, good point. Good point. Market chaos and a government ready to dump BTC at will. Yeah, I was just saying that. Yes. But there's pros and cons to everything, because as they gobble it up, see, people have to learn to play the game. Right? I mean, no disrespect in that, in saying that. They have to learn to play the game. That government, let's say U.S. government gobbles up some Bitcoin, right? Right now, that once they do that, the clock is ticking. Price goes up significantly. All these other countries start gobbling up Bitcoin. Price goes up significantly. Well, I would think, and once again, not financial advice, I would think people better start considering taking profit. Because these governments are going to sell. They're going to sell. It's up to the people what they do, if they agree with that or not. I mean, you got to make up your own mind, but But once it takes place, it's going to rise. So it's like, do you want to benefit off of it? Or do you want to wait until they start selling and there's all this volatility? The price can go down. There's a lot of variables to consider, no doubt about it. Arthur Hayes, former CEO of crypto exchange BitMEX, published an essay on February the 5th where he critiques the idea of a U.S. Bitcoin strategic reserve and regulatory policies. All right. It says he argues that many in the crypto industry mistakenly believe government intervention will benefit them. Like I said, I believe, yes. Well, if they're going to buy a lot, the price is going to go up. I think a lot of people, what he's referencing, are the ones who are going to act quickly. They're not long-term holders. They're not long-term believers. They're here to make some money. And they're going to sell quickly, and they will benefit from this. They definitely will. But if you're talking long-term negative effects because of this, yes, there would be. There definitely could be. However, here's another variable that could offset that. How do the large asset managers approach this situation? Do they continue to buy Bitcoin? Because if all of these massive asset managers and businesses jump into Bitcoin, it's going to boost that price up so high that everybody who was in early, it won't matter if the government sells or not. It will not matter if these governments sell or not. The price of Bitcoin will explode out of this world to a high enough level where those people who are in early, notice I'm saying early, will still remain comfortable with what they have if they want to hold long term. So, I mean, those are variables to watch. How do the asset managers react? What are they saying about this? All of that needs to be looked into. And I just assume, but we could play this a myriad of different ways in scenarios that could play out. But I assume, going by what governments have done already, they'll sell. At the drop of a hat, it'll seem random, but they will sell. They're not going to be long term with it. All right. But I could be wrong. It says, quote, broadly speaking, many misguided crypto folks wish for the U.S. government to print dollars and purchase Bitcoin as part of a national stockpile and to enact regulatory moats around crypto businesses in which they have a financial interest, unquote. Hayes warns that the government-controlled Bitcoin reserves would be subject to political whims rather than sound financial strategy. He's making a very, very good point. Sorry about the shine. Still got a little oil on myself. From when I cut my hair, you got to spray that oil up, Let's assume that they're able to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. It says the government buys 1 million Bitcoin as suggested by U.S. Senator Loomis. Boom. The price goes nuts. And that's when I'm pretty sure that's when a lot of regular people are going to sell. I'm telling you, they're not going to wait until the government sells on them. I don't think so. I just don't think so. Once again, unless they start to get inklings that large businesses and asset managers are going to continuously be buying and hold it and push that Bitcoin price up similar to gold. Are they going to treat it similar to gold? Banks have been buying gold almost continuously, of course, short breaks in between, for some years now. And that has propped the gold price up and sent it to all-time highs, multitude of times. So some of them do sell. But even though those governments sell, they never all sell at the same time. And when they do sell, it hasn't affected gold's price that dramatically. It hasn't. So that's something else to look at. All right. That's something to consider. Will this activity actually have a massive effect on Bitcoin? Or will it be treated more like gold and have that effect? Barely any effect like it does on gold, at least from what I've seen. I could be mistaken. Maybe you've seen something else. All right. So now we're going to close out today with this little bit of Bitcoin news right here. Okay. So now this article is titled Austin University to launch $5 million Bitcoin fund with 5-year HODL strategy. Really? It says the university's endowment fund will aim for a minimum 5-year Bitcoin holding strategy, citing its long-term potential. The University of Austin is launching a first-of-its-kind Bitcoin investment fund, showcasing the growing Bitcoin adoption among United States institutions. The University of Austin will raise a Bitcoin fund worth over $5 million as part of the institution's $200 million endowment fund. Quote, we don't want to be left behind when their cryptocurrencies potential materializes dramatically, unquote. Chun Lei, the foundation's chief investment officer, told FT, according to a February the 9th report. That's interesting. So they believe at Austin University that the price is going to increase dramatically, not just for Bitcoin. It says cryptocurrencies. I would love to hear more from them on why they believe such a thing. I know why I believe it, but I want to hear other people's viewpoints. That's what's interesting. That's where we can really gain some insight, in my humble opinion. But they said dramatically, and they admitted they don't want to be left behind. That's interesting. I think a lot of businesses feel that way. That's why we're continuously hearing that these businesses want to jump in at some point. What they're waiting on, I don't know. I have no idea what they're waiting on. All right. A better regulatory environment. Bitcoin is in the clear. So that doesn't apply to Bitcoin, correct? But I think a lot of them feel that way. They don't want to be left behind. And when they jump in, that price should go up significantly. Once again, I want to reference how gold went up significantly at a certain point, and it's been up ever since. Gold is not the low price that it was years ago. It's not. And I don't think it'll ever come back down to those levels. So everybody that got in super duper early on gold is looking really, really good right now. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.